What's up? We finally have in-person guests here. Our Heisman winner.
I mean, I'm honored to be a part of this show, man.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? Thank you for gracing us.
Over the years, I was a frequent, and it's just, I'm finally on. Finally got the call. Late notice, but I'm here.
Well, it's Heisman time.
It is.
This is the time of year, and this is the time of year that we all love in college football, obviously. And it's not just time to complain about the rankings, which I do every single week. It's time to talk about some of these players.
Yep.
Listen, I give the floor to you. You tell me what your Heisman list looks like right now.
Well, first, I don't remember a time where we're in November and there's favorites, but there's legitimately like 5 or 6 guys that I think this can go. Whereas last year, we knew Devontae Smith probably was the guy. Mac Jones had a great year. The year before, Joe Burrow, we knew. Whenever the Oklahoma quarterbacks are balling, we know they're going to win. This year, it can be Kenneth, it can be Bryce, it can be all of these guys. But I want to start with Bryce Young. And even for me purposely, like, we haven't really talked about him a lot because he's kind of been the favorite all season long. And it's like these, I don't want to say lackluster performances, Joel, but it's just like he goes out and he's so steady and he's so consistent that's like we're almost forgetting about him. But then you look at the box score, it's like 300 yards, 3 touchdowns every single week, and it's all of a sudden he's got 28 touchdowns, only a few turnovers. He's been really, really good, and he's doing it behind an offensive line, in my opinion, that's not very good. They're banged up.
Not nearly what they were a year ago.
Yeah, he's getting hit a lot. He's getting sacked a lot. So he's just, and I know him personally. He's a modern-day kid. He's just been so freaking steady. I know. I got to plug that in there.
I see what
he's been so steady. So he is the favorite at this point. I know it's kind of narrow, but I think he deserves that shot.
Who are some of the other guys? Because, like you said, the list could go on and on.
Listen, last year really changed my thought about this with a receiver winning. I'm like, why can't other positions win, right? Defense, maybe. We haven't seen a defensive player win in a long time. But I'm going to go with Will Anderson at Alabama.
Look at you, just roll tide.
I know that's like, killing you because I know you're not a type.
Property down in Birmingham right now, in Tuscaloosa.
Will Anderson is not going to win the Heisman Trophy, but he's the best defensive player in college football, in my opinion. He's got 21 tackles for loss, 10.5 sacks. I watched some tape on him this week, and it reminds me of, it might not be the same dominance Chase Young had a couple years ago, but like he is so dominant at the line of scrimmage.
So good.
He's so good, whether it's against the run, the pass, obviously affecting offenses. So I just wanted to give him some love because if we're talking about the best players in college football, he's one of them.
And listen, you can make an argument. Yes, Alabama's not where they're at without Bryce Young. That's pretty clear. And I'm an elitist. I'm a quarterback. Right? I like talking about quarterbacks.
I am too,
but Will Anderson, last week in particular, they don't beat LSU without Will Anderson. He was a monster. I don't disagree with you. Who else?
All right, so we're gonna be calling this game. We're gonna be calling this game Caleb Williams at Oklahoma. Ooh. And I would ask you because we're both voters, right? It's like, can he win the Heisman after not starting? I don't know either. Like people ask me that, and I'm just like,
I don't know.
It's not really fair, but it's like he's been the best player in college football since he's taken over, arguably.
Did you know that their offense, which has historically been one of the great offenses under Lincoln Riley that we've seen in football, since he came into the lineup, they've improved their yards per play by 3 yards.
It's almost like almost 9 yards of play.
It's almost 9 yards per play.
Think about it. Every time they're getting a first down, every time they snap the ball.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So I don't listen. Your question, if you wanted me to answer it, I would have a hard time, and I know I'm doing 2 Oklahoma games here in back-to-back weeks, so easy, boomers, okay?
It's all right.
I would have a really hard time putting him at number 1.
Yeah, I think
I don't have a problem putting him at number 2 or having him on my ballot, but man, I would have a hard time.
You can't miss 3 or 4 games, right?
Well,
and
you're not the first half of the season.
Yeah, so I'm with you, but just listen, if it's not this year, he's going to be the favorite next year.
Totally.
We already know that. So those are the guys. Obviously, there's, Kenny Pickett. I know, right? Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral. I mean, Kenneth Walker, to me, still has a great opportunity, even despite the loss. But a lot of big games for these guys coming up. So,
a couple of things. One is, I wish that the Heisman Trophy Trust would change the way that they invite for finalists and just include the top 5 finishers every single year because it means something to be a finalist. You know that. I mean, you were in New York. That's a big deal. Now, granted, you took home the trophy, so You understand the prestige. But, man, just being a finalist is something big for not only the individual but the schools.
Right, yeah.
So I wish that they would just take 5. Bang.
Well,
top 5 go.
their reasoning is obviously, well, it wasn't that close. We don't want to, like, I've talked to people.
But who cares? You're in the
we
top
don't want to
5
embarrass
in the
them. No, those, like, listen, you go to the Heisman, like, my senior year I went, I knew I had no shot of winning.
But you were
But
there.
I was, like, pumped to go. You're at the Heisman. You're celebrating. It was a different time. But, like, guys like, maybe someone like Will Anderson, who doesn't have a shot, but like to get to go to Heisman and to experience that weekend, because that weekend is one of the most incredible weekends in all of sports. I'm with you. I think they should take 5, 6 guys, and maybe they don't have enough time in the show. I don't know, but
they got time.
Those guys. Look, there's always more than 2 to 3 guys that deserve being there. I wish they would change that as well.
A couple of things on I like your list. I think Bryce needs a game in which he's the reason Alabama wins.
I know.
Right? And down the stretch in
maybe
a big moment. Maybe it's the Iron Bowl. Maybe it's the SEC Championship game. Kenneth Walker, I like his chances because as a quarterback, you're not going to be knocked for a team's loss as much as a quarterback would be. So he goes out there, puts up numbers against Purdue, even in a loss. I think Kenneth Walker is still going to be right there. But, man, these defensive players. And, by the way, we didn't even mention Jordan Davis yet.
I know.
So, I mean, that dude's an absolute beast.
He's not even on the field that much. When he's on the field, I think, like, I don't know, it was like 30% snap. He's on the field when he's on the field, he is a brick house. Like
Last guy I want to mention that hasn't gotten mentioned yet, C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Watch out for C.J. Stroud. The numbers that they just threw the ball over 50 times against Nebraska. So if they continue that trajectory, if they win the Big Ten, and he's putting up huge numbers, watch out for C.J. Stroud.
He's in my top 3 right now. It's all about, like you said, the big games, the moments down the stretch. It's really set up great for Big Ten. Kenneth Walker, C.J. Stroud, because of all those big games coming up.
I appreciate you coming on.
Dude, it's good. It's good to be
Let's
here, man.
do it more often. Matt Leinart, folks, Heisman Trophy winner at USC. I appreciate you. Maybe a little clap back coming up. I don't know. What are people saying about me on the internet? We'll check later.
Nothing good.
Nothing good. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.